From the top of the steeple at Saint-Michel to the Loire Valley, let it be known that you too can become a French chef if you attempt this classic French recipe. 3 parts. First, we'll prepare a sauce velouté, or a white sauce. The second part is duck breast, and the third is a champagne and grape sauce. This is magnifique, stupendous. We begin with the velouté, or the white sauce. I have a double boiler in which I've placed 2 tablespoons of butter. Next, we add 2 tablespoons of flour, and what you want to do is to blend this well so that the flour and the butter mix. Next ingredient, 2 cups of chicken stock. Now, as the chicken stock goes in, you'll notice that as it starts to heat up, it'll also start to thicken, which is the perfect opportunity to begin the next ingredient, which is mushrooms. The mushrooms I've selected are shiitake, and you could also use portobello or chanterelles. Now, also notice that I'm taking off the stems of the mushrooms. They're very, very tough in texture, and I'll use them for a vegetable stock, but for right now, I'm simply placing them on the side, and I'm going to start by cutting the shiitake mushrooms. I've added about a handful of the chopped shiitake mushrooms to this sauce. Give it a stir. This is really blending nicely. Now, you cover it. Reduce the double boiler down to a low setting, so now it's going to simmer for 1 hour. The small skillet is now warmed on medium-high, and the next thing is to add 1 cup of champagne and a 1/4 cup of finely chopped shallots. They go in, and the pièce de résistance, the true element of French cuisine, peeled seedless grapes. Now, my friend Mae West would probably do the, "Oh, Beulah, would you peel me a grape?" But anyways, ours simply go in the sauce. Now, the trick to this sauce, notice that there's no butter. I haven't added any butter into this. I need to heat this for quite some time so that the champagne, the sweetness of the grapes, and the shallots reduce to a really, really nice glaze. Get cooking, you grapes. Here they go. Onto the duck breasts. Now, I'm going to cook 2 at a time, and you'll notice that these are very, very large duck breasts. When I purchased them from the butcher shop, he suggested that 1 breast could be enough for 2 people. He obviously doesn't know how I eat. So I'm going to do 1 breast for each of my guests, and I think that they're going to enjoy that. Also notice that I'm doing a bit of a seasoning mixture. I've taken some allspice, a pinch of black pepper, actually, 2 pinches of black pepper, and a little bit of salt. And you simply want to sprinkle your seasoning on the duck breasts. Let me move this one over a little bit, and then we'll get some of the seasoning on each of the breasts. Also notice that I am seasoning the side of the breast that has the skin. It's that fatty skin that's going to reduce, and it's going to really impart a wonderful flavor on our duck breasts. The skillet is hot, so in goes the first 2 duck breasts, skin side down, and you immediately hear and smell these duck breasts going to town. Let's do a quick update on what's happening on the cooktop. The grapes and the champagne continue to reduce, but look what's happening in the large skillet that has the duck breasts. The fat from the duck is actually coming into this pan, and while you're starting to cook these duck breasts, keep withdrawing this oil. Just pour it off and allow them to cook. It's going to make sure that these duck breasts are nice and crispy. The moment has come to turn these over. Oh. Et voila, beautiful duck breasts. This skin is now very crispy, and it's taken about 5 minutes for it to get this way. I'll continue to cook these breasts now until they're cooked medium. So they're sizzling, they're smelling wonderful, and the French escapade continues. Well, look what's happened in 15 minutes. This sauce has now reduced, and you'll notice what I mean by a glaze. It's very, very thick and almost goopy now, which is the perfect time to introduce butter. I have a 1/2 cup of butter that I need to add in 6 parts. And what you're trying to do is to add the butter and allow it to melt but not liquefy. So watch this closely, and we're melting it into this glaze. The sauce is now reduced. I've added all of the butter, and now comes the seasoning. You can add any of your favorite herb. I like to add a little bit of sage. So I've chopped some fresh sage. I now add it to the sauce, again mixing well. Now, another thing I like to do is to add a bit of fresh grated nutmeg, and just a little is going to give it a really super flavor. Now my duck breasts, just as a review, have gone for about 15 minutes. 5 minutes to sear the skin, then you turn them over and allow them to continue to cook. How about the velouté? Let's look at what happened here. I've used this fine sieve. After it cooked, I've now run the sauce through the sieve, and I'm left with a very beautiful white sauce. The final step with the sauce is to now pour the champagne glaze into the velouté. Et voila, you have a champagne and grape sauce that will have everyone running to your table. I think it's time to present this fabulous meal. Champagne and grape sauce on duck breast, sautéed vegetables, roasted sweet potatoes. You too can prepare a wonderful meal such as this. Bon appétit.